Hey guys, welcome back to Ultima Games. 2024 was crazy, but this year is planning to be a much more crazier year. Let's go ahead and jump in and talk about their games releasing for January 2025. The first game on our list was definitely the biggest surprise in this entire list, and that is Freedom Wars Remastered. I never thought in a million years I'd be talking about a PS Vita game, but to my surprise, Namco went ahead and announced that they were doing a remaster. We're getting a bunch of new enhancement and upgrades such as 4K resolution, upgraded textures, much improved online multiplayer, and a new higher difficulty mode. And thank God, 60 FPS for this game. I cannot stress how badly this game needed it when it was on PS Vita. Ran pretty good on the console itself, but it did have its issues here and there. This game is a very big a surprise coming back because servers shut down in 2021, so to see it come back now is definitely a good sign for Sony. They definitely need this kind of win right now. And it's just good overall to see in general because this is definitely one of those games where it just needed to branch out away from the Vita. I hope it finds its fan base, especially with things like Monster Hunter Wilds coming. The next game on our list is Hyper Light Breaker. Now, if that game sounds familiar, this is coming from Heart Machine Games, the studio that brought you Hyper Light Drifter. And I gotta say, I'm kind of impressed with this game. Although in some of the gameplay that I have seen, especially with the boss fight demo, I was surprised by how much slower the game was than Hyper Light Drifter. I feel like speed was one of the biggest, takeaways from that game. So to see it running, at a slower pace and, third person instead of the top down perspective, definitely an interesting choice. I hope that this being a co-op game, that the difficulty is ramped up a little bit more. Everything felt a little too slow and a little too easy. But mind you, this is still in early access, and I have pretty good hopes for this game once they kind of figure things out and whatnot, and hopefully they up the pace. Being an online co-op too, I hope the difficulty does go up a little bit more as well. But definitely excited to try this game. Can't wait to try the early access once it comes out on January 14th. If you're interested at all, go check it out. It looks interesting. I definitely want to try it. Good or bad, we'll see what's up. The next game on our list is Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Now, I will be the first to admit, this isn't the most exciting game on the list for me personally, in my opinion, especially for a Switch game. I haven't really messed with the Donkey Kong series overall, but I know that Nintendo fans are frustrated when it comes to the Donkey Kong remaster, since there hasn't really been a new Donkey Kong game. They've only been remastering, and I believe this is the third remaster since the Switch has been out, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. If so, correct me in the comments. But fans are ready for some new Donkey Kong, and definitely not one that is another remaster, basically. And for the price, I don't think fans are too happy about it, but I feel like those who are real hardcore Donkey Kong fans will enjoy this. Whether or not they are feeling the fatigue of the series or not, who knows? Let us know what you think down below. I'm definitely curious to see what you guys think about this game. I can't wait to see how it does once it does release, but we'll have to see once that happens. Definitely let me know. Now, the next game on our list is Tales of Grace's F. Now, I am so excited for this because I have left off on Tales of Grace's F, and the fact that we're getting a remaster is so great. I have been dying to play more Tales games on current gen consoles. I hate the fact that it was trapped on the PS3. But that aside, Namco Bandai has announced Project Remaster, so basically we're going to be getting a lot more Tales games, and this is just the first of many to come. Tales of Grace's F is getting enhanced visuals and gameplay, along with original DLC included that was previously released. I cannot contain my excitement for this game. I cannot wait to play it. I'm so excited for this month. I hope the next remaster we get is going to be a full Symphonia 1 and 2, Exilia, Berseria. I need all of those immediately. I cannot wait for the rest of these remasters to come out, and I cannot wait to see what they do. And hopefully we get a new Tales game along with that as well, but those remasters may be keeping them too busy for that. Let me know what you guys think about the Tales series overall. I think they've been doing great, taking it slow and steady. The games always usually deliver for the most part, at least in my opinion. I know they have a few problems here and there. Some people didn't like Arise, but Grace's F is definitely going to be exciting, and I cannot wait to see what else they bring to the table. The next game on our list is Dynasty Warriors Origins. Now, this game has definitely needed to make a bit of a comeback, with Dynasty Warriors 9 releasing not so great, not very liked much, and just running really crappy. A lot of fans, longtime fans, and mind you at that, were really pissed off. Although that game made some bad decisions, and there was some good stuff in there too, some really good ones. They just didn't execute properly. Dynasty Warriors Origins is looking like it's going to be a much more comprehensive game that has much more solid features, that definitely it feels more like a Dynasty Warriors game. Everything you would want from that, it looked like it improved upon. And I gotta say, I'm glad to see that it's looking so well. This is a long time series going for a while for a lot of fans, and to see that they're finally getting, the game that they deserve, it's good to see. The gameplay looks solid, mechanics look pretty interesting. For the most part, the open worldness of the game finally feels big enough and fleshed out enough to have these really big battles, especially when you have a PS5 console that can really put out, the kind of graphical, enhancements that this game has been needing for a while now. It's definitely good to see it. But I hope the game does well. I'm definitely curious to try it. I haven't been the biggest Dynasty Warriors fan, but I always dabble in here and there if I get a chance to try it. But definitely check it out if you're interested. Comes out this month. Hopefully fans will be more impressed than disappointed, but we'll see when it comes out. Up next is Ender Magnolia Bloom in the Mist. Now that is a long title, but it does sound kind of cool. Now when I talk about a game being depressing or sad, this game definitely fits the bill. This is a Metroidvania style game, 2D RPG of course. The gameplay looks pretty solid for the most part. This game is in early access, but from what I've seen so far, the game seems pretty solid. The soundtrack is, very somber and sorrowful, of course. The vibes are there. I know it's a weird way to express the game, but this game oozes a lot of charm, a lot of love. It looks like it's been put into this game, and the gameplay looks generally, pretty good. Now, I gotta say, this game definitely gives me Child of Light vibes if it went in like the opposite direction of everything. Child of Light was a more, not a happy-go-lucky game, but it was a lot less grim than this one seems to be, which I really appreciate these kind of games. These games have this really good vibe when it comes to stuff like that, and it definitely shows here in this game. Every trailer that I've seen so far looks pretty good. Aside from the early access, I don't really have too many complaints about this game. I'm definitely curious to see what they do with it, and I hope that it turns out to be a pretty good game. From what it's looking like, it's looking pretty nice. I definitely can't wait to try it when it comes out this month. Definitely know what you guys think about it. I'm very curious to see what your guys' thoughts are, and let me know. But the next game on our list is Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles. Now this game is definitely a blast from the past. It's definitely got the old school vibes, and it really shows. And surprisingly, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, but this looks pretty fun. I can't lie. I definitely want to play, especially since it has couch co-op. Nothing better than having that classic couch co-op feeling when you're playing with your friends. And I'm definitely surprised by this game. I don't know much about it, but it definitely seems like a good time. I've never really played too much with it, so I've never had the chance to really even experience it. So I'm definitely going to try this. Good buddy of mine I know, he loves Star Wars, and I'm sure he'll play with me. So we'll definitely give this game a chance. It's very cheap. Comes out on the 23rd of January. Let me know if you're actually excited for this. Star Wars has been very weird lately with its brand as a whole, but I feel like this is a win for Star Wars fans. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Alright, the next game on our list is a big one, and that is Final Fantasy Rebirth coming to PC. Now this is definitely going to be a exciting port. I know PC fans are very excited. Sony has been definitely pushing more PC ports to their console, although I don't know if they're going to do the weird thing with making you get a PSN. They did it with Helldivers 2 and I think another game, but it's really dumb. But that stuff aside, let's focus on the positives of this. Now we're definitely getting a lot of upgrades with this port, which is going to be improved lighting, enhanced visual and textures, of course. That comes with being on PC, the console master race pretty much. DualSense controller support, thank God. There's also going to be 4K resolutions and 120 FPS frame rates. And there's a bunch of preset options and other things like that you can look up. But I know fans are really excited for this. I know people have been anticipating it. I still think that Final Fantasy VII Remake and splitting into 3 parts is still super weird, but they've been delivering for the most part on their game, so I can't really complain too much. No spoilers in the comments, please, for Rebirth, because I'm still playing through it. Let me know how this game runs for you guys. My PC isn't the greatest, but I feel like I can manage this if I really wanted to. Although I will be busy with other things, hopefully I get to finish and give it a shot. Next on our list is the Sin Duality Echo of Ada. Now that title is definitely a little confusing, but the game is looking pretty good for the most part. I'm actually surprised. I'm not too crazy about the mecha games that have been coming out lately, with the exception of something like Armored Core or the occasional Gundam game. But this is looking pretty nice. Visually, it's pretty good looking. I can't complain about visuals. If anything else, this game looks fantastic. There seems to be a slew of customizable options. This is going to definitely be a looter shooter and an extraction shooter with a hint of PvP here and there. And there seems to be quite a bit of story, which is very good for these kind of games. I feel like this game is going to be one of the ones that Namco really needs to really, just put themselves back in, the good graces of some fans, because for as good as Namco is, they definitely put out some duds. Godzilla, of course, way back. But definitely, I'm interested in this game. Definitely can't wait to try it. I don't really have too many complaints about it, honestly. It looks great. Story looks interesting. And they haven't shown the game off too much, especially the story, but I'm willing to give a game like this a chance, especially since, the trailers look pretty good, and I'm always willing to give Namco a try because, I've been playing Namco games for years, and hit or miss, they always put out something consistently, whether it's good or bad, of course. Now, if it's bad, it sucks, but if it's good, then great. But let me know what you guys think down below for the game. Alright, this next game on our list, I know fighting games fans will definitely enjoy, and that is Virtua Fighter 5 Revo. Now, people are excited about this release. They have been waiting for this for a good minute now. Virtua Fighter has been a classic in the fighting game community for a lot of years now, and with this new remaster, I would call it, I feel like it's safe to call that. We get, of course, 4K 60 FPS, which is always welcome for fighting games. We get improved rollback, and now there's going to be a tournament mode, which is going to be very nice for those who like to host their own tournaments or just do their own events in general, which is always great for fighting tournaments. And yeah, I mean, this game is looking pretty sharp. It's looking pretty good for an old game, Virtua Fighter has been beloved for many years, and I'm pretty happy that fighting game fans are finally getting to eat with this one. So let me know what you guys think down below. Any concerns, problems with the game that you might think. So far what I've seen in the game, it's looking pretty good. The final game on our list pretty much needs no introduction, and that is Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Now, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 has been performing pretty well on PlayStation. It's one of the better games on PlayStation, of course. Insomniac has done a pretty good job with this game for the most part. I don't think too many people had any complaints. I feel like it was a pretty solid game overall. Although, of course, there's always improvements in certain cases in that aspect, but, that's just my opinion. But we're getting a PC port, which means mods, of course, will be coming to the game, I'm sure, from fans, and we will also have a bunch of graphical upgrades coming to a game that already looked phenomenal. So I can't wait to see what the widescreen support does and what that community, does with the graphics. As far as the game goes, it's pretty solid for the most part. I don't think anyone had any big complaints about the game. They've been pretty solid experiences since the first one and the DLC with Miles Morales. And that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for our video. If I feel like I got anything wrong or I missed something, feel free to let me know. I'm always down for criticism. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and keep gaming.